Hello and welcome back to FM Story. In this episode of our Athletic Club save, we're well into the second half of the season. We've managed to qualify for the knockout stage of the Champions League and we're currently sat second in the league. And we've not conceded a goal in 5 games. How long can we keep that up? Let's find out. Before we do get started, if you do enjoy the video, please like, comment and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get going. We ended the last episode on a bit of a high. January we won every game, we didn't concede a goal. So far, February has been pretty much the opposite. We've got one game left in February, which is the second leg of the knockout playoff against Bordeaux in the Champions League. But so far, we've played 5 games in February and we've won 2 of them. We started with a 3-2 victory over Granada. Really, we dominated the game. We were in charge of the game for the whole period of time, but it was very much their getting a player sent off that allowed us to pick up a winner in injury time with Ochoa heading home from a corner. We then went away to our usual bogey side of Rayo Vallecano in the league and basically dominated the game. I mean, we had 15 shots, we had an XG of 2.46 to their 0.29 and we lost 2-1. We were pretty good in the first half and then in the second half they scored 2 quick goals and we just didn't react and we couldn't get back into the game. Next up we were at home to Real Madrid and it looked like things had kind of worked out because after 42 minutes we were 3-0 up and cruising. They pulled a goal back just before half time, but 3-1 at half time, leading on XG, everything looked pretty good. And then we capitulated in the second half. There's nothing more to say than they suddenly start getting a load of chances in the second half. I mean, when you look at the XG, obviously it looks like they deserve to win the game. But it was very, very much a game of 2 halves. Luckily, we were able to bounce back for the first leg against Bordeaux. We dominated the game. One of our better performance, well, certainly probably our best performance of the month up to that point. Kept them really quiet. Unai Ribeiro picked up a brace, and we take a 2-0 lead into the second leg at home. And the most recent game was a game away at Barcelona. It looked like we'd done pretty well for most of the first half to hold out until Ferran Torres popped up with a goal just before half time, and it was a result of a poor clearance from us that went straight to their player who lifted it back into the box and Ferran Torres headed home. And then basically the second half, neither side had really any chances. It was a really quiet second half and we really didn't perform, and we're going to need to perform a lot better going forward. What it does mean in the league is that we've now dropped down to 3rd. We're now 2 points behind Betis in 2nd. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid are 3 points behind us, but they've both got a game in hand on us. And as we've lost to Barcelona and Atletico Madrid in the most recent games we've played against each side, it's not looking good from a head-to-head point of view either, but we really need to sort of bounce back. This month of February, we've lost 3 games in the league, which is nearly as many as we'd lost in the whole season up until that point. So we really need to bounce back and forget about it. And hopefully the first step is just putting in a decent performance against Bordeaux in the second leg of the Champions League and then building from there. There was a bit of an issue with the recording of the Bordeaux game, so we'll just go through the highlights. Going into the game, we were missing Hugo Guillamon, who's injured, so he's out, and Alex Shaw's playing right back. Otherwise, it's the same team that played all the way through January in the good form. We did on deadline day sign Mikel Merino from Man City. Unfortunately, he's had a knock and hasn't played recently, so he's on the bench if we need to bring him on. Early on, there was not much happened in the first half. We had a corner that Julian John Guerrero took. Laporte headed onto the roof of the net. That was as close as we'd kind of come early on. And that was it for the first half, really. The second half, we'd brought Unai Ibanez on at right back and Nico Serrano on at left wing, and he missed a chance straight away. So Ibanez had come on for Javi Lopez, and we'd put Nico Williams through the middle. Sunset found Nico Serrano, who pulled it back to Sunset, who overran the ball. And then we built up from the back again. And Norman went long to Uregi, who pulled it back to Julian John Guerrero. And then Uregi put the ball just over the bar. At this point, Bordeaux hadn't really been a threat. Nico Serrano took on the corner, and Laporte managed to hit the post this time with a header. He was winning just about everything at the near post. And again, missed the target that time. Then Ibanez with a throw in. Sunset back to Ibanez onto Julian John Guerrero, and Serrano smashed it wide. And at that point, you kind of think, thank God we've got a 2-goal advantage. But then we were able to break from the counter-attack, but gave the ball away. They went long. And then we built back up. Laporte looking for Serrano, who squared it to Nico Williams, who should have done better. And from the resulting corner, they cleared. And then later on, Nico Serrano found Uregi, back to Serrano. You got Unai Ibanez on the overlap. Good last ditch tackle, but we pulled it back to Sunset. Then Unai Ibanez to the back post. Uregi rose highest and headed home to give us the lead on the night and to put us 3-0 up on aggregate. And that was the game. Ultimately, we played better than we had done in the last couple of games against Real Madrid and Barcelona in the league. But we were pretty wasteful with our chances. I mean, we only scored one. We had an XG of 2.62. We really should have done better. And hopefully we can pick it up in the league now that we've through to the last 16. We're now approaching the end of March, and as you can see, we've got a big game coming up against Man City in the second leg of the round of 16 in the Champions League. Since the Bordeaux game, things have been a bit up and down. We've played 5 games, 4 of them in the league. We've won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1, which was the first leg against Man City. The Villarreal game was so different to anything that we've had so far since we tweaked the formation. We really just did not create any chances at all in this game. And we got a bit lucky to get away with a draw, especially having had Sola sent off late on, just as he was about to be taken off. But at least we didn't lose that game. We then went away to Sevilla, who had just sacked the manager. And it was a bit of a wild game. I mean, we probably deserved to win, but we did give away too many chances at the other end. And it was looking a bit tight, especially before you could see that their second one had been disallowed. But Nico Williams had grabbed a brace for us to be able to secure the victory in that game. We then were at home to Real Sporting, and in one way this was the same as all the other games since we tweaked the formation, in that we limited the number of chances that they had. But again, we didn't create many chances, and the ones we did create, we didn't get them on target. And we had to come away with a 0-0 draw, which wasn't exactly the best preparation for going into the game against Man City. However, you look at the XG and the number of shots, we actually defended okay. The first goal was the result of Foden putting Raum in behind the fullback, and he just basically ran the whole way and beat Kepa at the near post. We did then equalise late on, and then they scored at the other end, just getting a ball in between fullback and centre half, and finishing. But given that we gave 61% possession up to Man City, for them to only have 0.37 of an XG, really, we had more chances we could have taken and should have taken, and we should be going into the second leg level. But there was enough positives to take from that first leg performance to suggest we've got a chance going to the second leg, but it is going to be a slim chance. And then in the most recent game, we beat Levante 2-1. We should have taken more of our chances, but we played a lot better in this game than a lot of the games we've played so far this month. And they did have chances, and they did get a good goal in injury time. But by that point, the game was basically over, and we were controlling the game. So hopefully we can start putting game performances together like that, because we need to really kickstart our league form as well as trying to get through this Champions League game. As far as the league table is concerned, we're currently sat in third place on 55 points. Basically, Atletico Madrid have got a game in hand on us, and unless they lose that, they'll go above us because of the head-to-head. We still have Atletico to play again this season. Betis are currently sat in second place, but it's very tight between second and fifth. So we've still got a chance to finish top four, even push on further than that. But basically, if you look at Real Madrid are 20 points clear. So it's going to be another title for Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti. Going into the second leg against City, we're making one change from the last league game. Robin Lenormand's coming back in from the suspension he had in the league. We're only missing one player that's completely out of the game in Pablo Urregui. He's injured and out for a couple of weeks, so he's not going to be available for this game. So Nico Serrano's playing from the right, and hopefully we can get off to a decent start. I think what we need to do is obviously keep them quiet, but when we do get any chances, we need to really be clinical with taking them. Right, so Edison and Ruben Diaz. So they've broken through here. Haaland's through on goal. Thank God he ran it straight into Kepa's hands. Laporte long looking for Ribeiro, but we've lost out. And now they're coming straight back at us. Whoa. Right, Marino picks the ball up. They're not letting Sunset turn with the ball. Right, ball into Nico Williams. Javi Lopez in acres of space on the overlap. It was a lovely play. Once Sunset could get turned and facing the opposition goal, plays the ball into Nico Williams. Javi Lopez in acres of space. The cross just about gets through to Ribeiro, and he knocks it past Edison, and that's us tied up on aggregate. Oh, Guillamon nicks that. Ribeiro's put Nico Williams through. Oh! Fought with a free kick, Sunset. Oh my God. Why? That was so nearly the perfect first half, but we just got caught on the ball, gave the ball away. And I suppose you can't give Erling Haaland, I mean, that's his third chance, and the first one he's been able to bury in this half. That's a real gut punch going into half time, because we were deservedly in front on the night and level on aggregate. Just need more of the same in the second half. Surely that's offside. Obviously not. It looked a hell of a lot closer than that. There was a chance for a counter-attack there, but we ran into each other and gave the ball away. I'm not sure that we deserve to be 3-1 down, but that chance in the first half, we could have been 2-0 up on the night. I mean, over the two legs, I don't know how we've lost that 5-2. They were both pretty even games, if not. Like the first game, we should have probably won that game with the chances we had. Now we just got to make sure this doesn't tank the league. It's time for the youth intake again. So looking at the preview again, we're expected to have a 5-star excellent intake. It looks like we've got a decent centre midfielder coming through, 2 attacking midfielders, and a forward. And then that's when we start to run out of quality. I still don't quite understand how 2 A's and a B is a 5-star intake unless these players are going to be absolutely outstanding. But we'll find out when we see the players that come through. The youth intake is here, and it looks as though we've got a couple of top-end talents and then some decent players kind of pretty much all the way through. So we'll start by looking at Benhat Vallejo. Decent mentals, good dribbling, good technique, the ability to be pretty quick. I mean, the media description striker. The finishing compared to the dribbling slightly concerns me. I mean, to be honest, I would have thought probably better as the inside forward on the right. But obviously, still, he's only 15, so there's still a lot of development there. Next, we've got Javi Gill, who looks as though he can play anywhere from defensive midfield through to the number 10 role. Really good first touch, passing technique, bravery, decisions, flair, vision, work rate. A bit on the tiny side, but definitely looks to be someone who could develop into a decent player. We've got Azure Ruiz, really good mentals, looking like the technicals and the physical obviously need a bit more work. Ismail Villa, a winger or a number 10. 16 for determination with outspoken, volatile and confrontational. He's not going to cause problems, is he? But quick. I mean, great physicals, decent mentals. Just needs to develop some of the technicals. Mikel Melendez, really good first touch, passing technique. Good mentals. Leku, right winger, aggressive, determined, pretty quick. Good technique, really good mentals. Decisions, flair, off the ball, teamwork, vision, work rate. First touch, passing technique are good. Natural fitness good. Someone who can play right and left back. It could come in handy in the future. But obviously these guys are still quite a long way off. I don't think any of them are a Maturana or a Vallejo or even probably a Montero or someone like that that's going to be able to step in anytime soon. I mean, you're talking probably 5 or 6 years for these guys to be in with a sniff of getting into the first team squad. So this year's NXGN has just been announced, and we have some players in it, and basically we have 3 of the top 6. So the winner is Inigo Barrera, who we'd sent on loan this season to Getafe. And he's had a decent season. Then we've got in second place. Then in second place we've got Anico Vallejo, who obviously has been involved in the first team this season, mostly from the bench. He's probably going to go out on loan next season, the same way that Maturana has this season. And then in sixth place we've got Ander Benito, who came through the intake a couple of years ago, who has been smashing the goals in for Bilbao Athletic. So 3 out of the top 6 is a pretty good sign of where things are at in terms of the youth development. And that's the end of this episode. Join us next time for the end of Season 8. We're currently sat in second position in the league. Can we finally finish higher than third? We'll find out next time. We've got some big games next time. In fact, as the schedule stands at the moment, we've got a run of Real Sociedad at home, Atletico Madrid away, Real Betis at home. So all teams that are up and around us in the league. So it's going to be important that we get off to a decent start once we get into April.